Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that affects every single one of us, dealing with change and learning to let go. Before I jump in, I want you to know that what I'm about to share has personally transformed my life during some of my darkest moments, and I believe it could do the same for you. So stick around. This isn't just philosophical talk. These are practical tools that have helped countless people find peace when everything seems to be falling apart. Change is the only constant in life. We've all heard that phrase, right? But why is it still so difficult to accept? Why do we grip so tightly to situations, relationships, and versions of ourselves that no longer serve us? The ancient Stoics, those practical philosophers from thousands of years ago, asked these same questions and developed wisdom that feels eerily relevant to our modern struggles. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. These words from Epictetus, a former slave who became one of history's greatest philosophical teachers, capture the essence of what we're exploring today. The truth is, much of our suffering comes from trying to control things that are fundamentally outside our control. Think about what's troubling you right now. Maybe it's a relationship that ended, a job loss, a health diagnosis, or simply feeling stuck in a life that doesn't feel like your own anymore. We often don't realize how much energy we waste fighting against reality instead of working with it. I remember when I lost a job I thought defined me. For months, I replayed conversations in my head, imagining what I could have done differently, feeling angry at others and myself. I was clinging to a past that no longer existed, and it was keeping me trapped in a cycle of suffering. Perhaps you can relate to being stuck in this kind of emotional limbo. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters." What a powerful reminder that it's not about how long we hold on to things, but how well we play the role we've been given in each season of life. Sometimes the most courageous act is to accept that a chapter has ended and to turn the page with grace. But how exactly do we do that? How do we let go when everything in us wants to hold on? First, we need to distinguish between what we can and cannot control. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When we face change, we often waste precious energy trying to control external circumstances, instead of focusing on our response to them. Take a moment now to consider something you're struggling to accept. Maybe it's a person who left your life, a missed opportunity, or a mistake you can't stop dwelling on. Now ask yourself, what aspects of this situation can I actually influence? What parts must I accept as beyond my control? This simple distinction can be profoundly liberating. The second step is practicing what the Stoics called negative visualization. It sounds counterintuitive, but by regularly contemplating the impermanence of everything we cherish, we paradoxically become more grateful and less attached. As Epictetus suggested, when you kiss your child, whisper to yourself, "This may be the last time I see them alive." While this might sound morbid at first, it's actually a powerful practice for appreciating what we have while it's still here. Started applying this in my own life, taking a moment each morning to acknowledge that nothing is guaranteed, not my relationships, my health, or my possessions. Rather than making me anxious, it has helped me hold life more lightly, with open hands instead of clenched fists. The third aspect of letting go involves reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, wrote Marcus Aurelius. Every obstacle, every ending, every change brings with it the seeds of new beginnings if we're willing to see them. When that relationship ended, when that job was lost, when that dream had to be modified, these weren't just losses. They were invitations to evolve. The universe was asking, who will you become now? How will you use this to grow stronger, wiser, more compassionate? This brings us to perhaps the most powerful Stoic practice for embracing change. Amor fati, the love of fate. Friedrich Nietzsche, though not an ancient Stoic, beautifully captured this concept when he wrote, "My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it." Imagine approaching every change with that attitude, not just accepting it, but actually loving it as part of your unique journey. This doesn't mean we don't feel pain or grief. It means we don't add unnecessary suffering through resistance. I've found that when I truly surrender to what is, when I stop fighting reality and instead ask, what is this here to teach me? Something miraculous happens. Space opens up. Space for new possibilities, new joy, new growth that couldn't have existed if I had remained clinging to the past. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus, who understood oppression firsthand as a former slave, recognized that true liberation comes from within. No matter what circumstances we face, we always retain the freedom to choose our response. As we begin wrapping up, I want to leave you with a simple daily practice. Each night before bed, identify one thing you're holding on to that no longer serves you. A grudge, a regret, an outdated self-image, or an expectation. Visualize yourself physically opening your hands and releasing it. Feel the lightness that comes with letting go, then do it again the next day and the next. Remember, letting go isn't a one-time event, it's a continual practice. The Stoics understood that life is constant change, constant flux. Our resistance to this natural flow is what causes suffering. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, said Marcus Aurelius. By choosing thoughts that align with reality rather than fighting against it, we find a freedom that no external circumstance can take away. So, my friends, whatever you're struggling to accept right now, whatever change feels impossible to embrace, know that on the other side of surrender lies a peace and freedom you may never have imagined possible. The path of letting go isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. Thank you for staying with me through this exploration. If these ideas resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember the words of Epictetus: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens.